Man, welcome back, Phillies fans. Welcome back to the Titans Final here on the It's Rap Sports Network. Boy, Matty B on the call, and I have the dubious honor of reporting a series sweep. Yes, the Phillies today, 4-2 winners, completing the sweep in Arlington, breaking a winless in 10 straight down there in the heart of Texas over the last few years. But they came in and exercised those ghosts this weekend. Today, 4-2 winners. Zach Wheeler not pitching. Not the Zach Wheeler we're used to. A little bit labored, maybe dealing with some fatigue, maybe dealing with an injury, maybe dealing with whatever. But Phillies did enough. Zach Wheeler did enough, and then the offense comes through and wins the game, not using the home run. I mean, they had one, but this game was won by the bats, putting balls in play, situational hitting, moving people along. All those things that you got to do to be a World Series champion. And that's what happens. When you do those things, you get wins and you get them in the bunches. And the Phillies today with the 4-2 win with the series sweep. Welcome back to the Titans Final, Sunday afternoon edition. Special day here on the show, of course. This is also Sunday where we go into the Phillies farm system. Down the Phillies farm will be seen a little bit later in this telecast. So we got a lot to get into over the next half hour, 40 minutes, hour, 2 hours, however long it is that I can deal with this. But let's get it rolling here. 4-2 Phillies with the win. Zach Wheeler, let's get into him first. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. They were earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, a home run. 83 pitches through those 5 innings. That is not ever what you want ever for any pitcher, especially your ace, and especially a pitcher that could be potentially dealing with an injury or fatigue. But Wheeler did enough to capture his 10th win of the season, 10-5 now for him. Kept the team around, kept the team in it. Another home run surrendered by Phillies pitching is not good. Phillies have now surrendered 129 home runs on the year as a pitching staff, and that's a number that continues to rise. But he did enough. And again, even the not Zach Wheeler is better than 85% of the pitchers in the major league. So I'll take the effort. Banks, Strom, Kerkering, and Duran come in, closing it down for the Phillies. Is this what it will be? Is that the bullpen situation in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th? Did we get it today? Is Tanner Banks your 6th inning guy? Matt Strom your 7th, Kerkering your 8th, and Duran your 9th? I know the conversation about no roles in the bullpen. I've said this from the very out, that as long as the Phillies did not have roles for the relievers, that a world championship would elude them. It looks like they've established some roles, and bringing Duran in obviously was part of that. He is now your closer, and de facto, does that mean Kerkering is your setup guy, Strom is your 7th inning guy, and Banks is your 6th inning guy? And if that's the case, the Phillies have taken a giant step forward in trying to win a World Series. Duran got the saved his 20th on the season. What's it now? His 3rd as a Philly, 4th as a Philly. As the Phillies got the W today. Patrick Corbin for the Rangers, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He walked 3, struck out 1, and gave up the homer to Sosa. 78 pitches for 4 innings and a third. That's never going to be good. Our old friend Hobie Milner pitched as well. They kind of got bashed around a little bit. Wynn, Garcia, and Phil Maton were also in appearance today for the Rangers in the losing effort today, 4-2. So there you have it. Joe Hale says a great win. All of them were great, Joe. 5th series win of the season for the Phillies this year. 6th series sweep. 25th series win for them in 2025. Love all of a sudden Thompson, he knows how to use a bullpen. I don't want to believe that for 3 years a closer has eluded us. But maybe it has. Maybe for 3 years, Thompson had to just get by. I don't know. And that's not Thompson's fault if he hasn't been given a closer in 3 years. Or maybe it was a 3-year Jose Alvarado experiment, a 1.5 year Ryan Kerkering experiment. Maybe that's what they were doing. And then they came to the decision at this point this season that they had to go out and go externally get some help for a closer. But it does look like all of a sudden Rob Thompson is going back to his roots, so to speak, when he was with the Yankees, and he's got a Mariano. I'm not comparing Duran and Mariano Rivera, so please bear with me on that. But maybe you're seeing it finally come out to fruition, and now he's actually going to go and have a bullpen with roles. And I hope you understand what I mean by roles is I don't care what happens first to the fifth inning, and if they got to go to the pen, I don't really care who they use, and what order. I really don't care. It's all about that 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. That's the secret to success, especially in October. And if the Phillies have unlocked it finally with the help of Duran, then it's definitely a step in the right direction. I've always said, again, a bullpen with no roles is never going to win you a World Series. But it seems that they've gotten the roles with a very good closer out there. So absolutely, Thompson all of a sudden looks like a competent manager. What a catch by Bader, saved the home run, unreal. Easy, Dave. He didn't scale the Green Monster. There's a short porch out there in left field in the Arlington Stadium. I think the jump was a little bit of theatrics. Yeah, he did reach his glove over the wall, but he also wasn't looking either. So there might have been a little bit of, look, Ma, look what I got. It was a great catch. Unreal? No. No. It was a great catch. Yes, a home run saving catch. Might have been, I don't know, might have been hammed up a little bit by Bader out there. He didn't have to really jump, did he? But yeah, great catch. Absolutely. Unreal? Yeah. Yeah, no. For the Phillies in this game, we'll go to the box score right now. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Rangers. Offensive standouts for the Phillies today. JT Realmuto, 2 for 4. Continues to kind of get hot again. 273 now his batting average is up to. Bryson Stott, 2 for 4. A big day for Bryson as he got on base a lot. 242 now his average is up to. Weston Wilson with the big knock there in the late innings to give the Phillies that insurance 4th run. He was 1 for 2. Brandon Marsh came on and got an RBI, and he got an RBI by playing small ball. He got an RBI with a sac fly. I'll take it. Absolutely. That's how you win championships. Top of the lineup, Kyle Schwarber with the Schneid today, 0 for 3. Bryce Harper, 1 for 4 with a double. He did get an RBI in this game to kind of get things going for the Phillies to get him back into this. For the Rangers, Corey Seager, 0 for 2. That was good to see that they kind of shut him down a little bit. But Jock Peterson can't hit his way out of a wet paper bag, but apparently with the Phillies, he's all over the place. Today, he kind of broke out of his little shell, 1 for 1 with the 2-run shot to kind of jumpstart the Ranger offense. And that was really it. That's pretty much your offensive hero when you only score 2 runs and you were the one who scored them for the Rangers. Phillies were 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Later tonight, we're going to do the final word. And I know earlier today, some of you were subject to some of the biggest propaganda horse poop that I've ever heard in my entire life on the PM and the AM program. But never fear. I will deprogram you tonight at 10 o'clock. So please make sure you're tuned in for the final word as I said, I will try to deprogram some of you that were tainted this morning by some of the most homeristic propaganda I've ever heard anybody spew in any media platform, which was coming out of Alan Mike's mouth this morning. So please, tonight at 10 o'clock, just tune in for the final word as I will begin to bring you back to the light, so to speak, on that program. So the Phillies were 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They left 6 on base. Bryce Harper did get around into a double play. And Bryce Stott had 2 steals in the game as the Phillies continued to rack up stolen bases in the second half. They are like massively out base stealing their opponents in the second part of the season. I think like 30-11 is what they're up to. For the Rangers, they were 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. It's a testament to the fact that they couldn't get any offense generated other than the home run, and they left 8 on base for the day. And that's it. That's how you – scoring summary. Jock Peterson would get things rolling. And one of the more – if there's a concern with the starting pitching, or if there's a concern that I have with the pitching in general, it has been the home runs given up. Jock Peterson with a 2-run shot in the first inning to make it 2-0 Rangers, but then the Phillies would chip back in the 4th. Harper would knock in Turner with a double, make it 2-1. Sosa tie things up in the 5th with a homer. Weston Wilson would get the go-ahead. Oh, I thought he was the insurance run. Oh, that's right. Marsh was the insurance run. Sorry, Weston Wilson with the game-winning RBI. Sorry, there you go. Weston Wilson with the 5th inning single to give the Phillies the lead, and then Brandon Marsh with the insurance run in the 9th. Give the Phillies the 4-2 advantage, and they hold on 4-2 with the win. 68-47 now on the season, or 68-49 on the season. With the Mets lost today, they're back up by 5.5. Interesting. What a turn of events this division has definitely seen. The bottom of the lineup is very surprising. It blows my mind. And we talked about this last night when I jumped on with Al with the Fighting's Final. It really does kind of rest with those guys. Everybody knows what the top of the lineup is. Everybody knows what they are. They're power hitters, and they're going to get theirs, or they're not. And that's the problem, because they're feast or famine up there. So they're either going to chow down and hit 5-6 home runs a game, or they're not going to hit at all, and no runs are going to score. The 7, 8, 9, maybe even 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters on this lineup are the key to October success. And I don't know when the last time I've ever said that about a lineup, that it's really going to go as far as the bottom of the lineup takes it. But that's where the key is, Dave, in my opinion. The key to winning in October is going to be the bottom of the lineup, because they got to do their part, regardless of what's happening at the top of the lineup. Because if the top of the lineup is doing their part, the Phillies are winning blowout games. If the top of the lineup is not doing their part, the Phillies are going to win games 4-2 on the strength of their pitching. So I don't remember in my own lifetime saying that the bottom part of a lineup is so important to the success of a team. And the Phillies are that in 2025, and they've been that for the last few years. So as far as the bottom of the lineup can take the Phillies is as far as they're going to go in October. And to see them kind of getting back into a groove, or for the first time all season start hitting together, it's very positive to see. I agree. The play that fell between Stott and Bader is supposed to be Bader's ball, but Stott called them off. Whose fault is it? It's, yeah, I mean, you're talking X's and O's of baseball. I don't know. I mean, the center fielder, he's running in, Stott's running out. You do the physics there. It's probably Bader's call. He's got the momentum coming forward. Stott's running backwards, looking up. We'll go with Bader, or we'll go with Stott. I don't know. We'll go with Bader. We'll go with Stott. So it was Stott's fault. 5.5 up on the Mets. Mets are going to Met. It's looking really good. Mets lost today, got swept by the Brewers. And again, part of our deprogramming tonight is going to be this fascination of the homers when it comes to the out-of-town scoreboard. The absolute fascination of how they gauge everything of the Phillies' success by the success or lack of success of other teams in the league. It's an interesting part of the dementia syndrome that is homerism, that they have to go to this point. But it ain't looking good for the Mets. But it's also August 10th. Again, it's looking good for the Phillies, but it's August 10th. If we were talking October 10th, I'm all aboard. But there's a butt ton of baseball left to play. I think the Phillies and Mets have 7 games left head-to-head. Nothing has been settled. Nothing is going to be settled for the next 6 weeks. So early returns looking pretty good. But we know baseball, and baseball can turn on a dime. And the Phillies will be back at it tomorrow in Cincinnati. Matter of fact, I think they're playing like a span of 13 straight, going from Texas to Cincinnati and then to D.C. So we got to see how this thing plays out, and not count the old proverbial chickens before they hatch. But yeah, I mean, the Phillies had a chance earlier this season when the Mets were struggling, the first time, to put the Mets away, and they couldn't. Now they're sort of capitalizing on the struggles of the Mets. Does it continue? I hope it does. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does. Master, he is Mr. Bader. Yeah. All right. I get it. When you have the 2 best closers in the game, Phils are winning games by a run or 2. It's a given. When you have the best closer in the game, he ain't the best closer in the game. Come on, Dave. Jesus Christ. He ain't the best. I mean, he's up there. He's good. Absolutely. And you're right. You spot him a second run. I mean, it's damn near impossible. I agree with you. That you two the Phillies for sweet the Rangers. What? That you two the Phillies for sweet the Rangers. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I don't know. Come on, Mickey. Break the code for me, brother. I don't know what you're trying to say, but Phillies do win today 4-2, and they get the sweep. Not the sweet. They get the sweep. Now they're on to Cincinnati to play the Reds in a 3-game set starting on Monday, and then off to D.C. for a 4-game set starting Thursday. All of them in a span of 13 straight games in 13 days. So this is an interesting little stretch of games for the Phillies, and very winnable games. But you got to win them. And then off to a really good start with the Rangers today, sweeping the Rangers 4-2. But here on the Interrap Sports Network, we got you covered for everything Phillies. And here's your sneak peek at the Reds Fighting's final lineup. Mike Lara will be back tomorrow night. He gets you. Steve will be here on Tuesday, and I will wrap the series up Wednesday in the Queen City against the Reds. So there's your Fighting's final lineup for this upcoming series against the Reds. Make sure you're checking it out, but also make sure you're checking out some of the other great programming we have in store for you, like The Final Word with Matty B, the flagship show, my show, airing every Sunday through Thursday at 10 p.m., typically every Sunday through Thursday. We will be on the air tonight. We will not be on the air Monday. We will be on the air Tuesday. We will be on the air maybe Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm coming out of the darkness that has been my summer. I got one more week of doing what I'm doing, and then things will settle down immensely for me. So I'll be able to get back to more of a routine with the show. But make sure you're tuned in typically every Sunday through Thursday at 10 p.m. for The Final Word with Matty B. And again, tonight, a little sneak peek to tonight's show. I will attempt to deprogram those of you that felt defiled, violated, uncomfortable by some of the most idiotic propaganda I've ever heard come out of people's mouths. So make sure you're tuned in, and I'll fill you in more of what I mean tonight at 10 o'clock. Then, of course, later in the week, we got great programming like the Wraparound with Pat Bernard. I think Michael Arrow will be in for another week, at least another week, on Friday at 10:30. The Attacking Third program every Thursday at 9. The P&M and the AM program every Sunday morning at 9. And this Saturday afternoon at 4-ish, it'll be the Birds Flyby, Eagles pregame or Eagles postgame show for week 2 preseason against Cleveland. And then coming back on August 28th at 7 p.m., season 6 of the Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn, the quintessential and Eagle pregame show entertainment. So make sure you're tuned in to the It's a Wrap Sports Network because you'll miss it if you're not. That you too, the Phillies for sweep. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you guys on the radio station too? This is our radio station. This is the new radio station. This is the radio station of the 21st century. This is where all of this stuff will go. Terrestrial radio is dying on the vine. This is going to be the future of sports talk and talk radio or talk anything going forward. I've maintained that what's happening on commercial-free public radio is dead. Dead. This is where you want to be. And not just here with this network. There's a bunch of them out there that give you non-corporate, I have my hand in someone else's pocket type of responses, emotion, and opinions. So make sure you need to you're checking us out, and the other shows out there too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I got the monopoly. I mean, we are the best, but if you want to go out there and sample the other shows, feel free. Hey, now, King of All Media on the webs. You're damn right I am. Damn right. Thank you, the Phillies. There you go. Now it's making more sense. Thank you, the Phillies, for sweep. I can figure it out now. It's thank you to the Phillies for sweeping the Rangers. Yes, going down to Arlington with 0 for their last 10, and taking us and sweeping out a series. I don't know. Do you count the World Series into that? I think you do. I don't think we won any games in Arlington in the World Series in 22, if I recall. So, yeah, 0 for their last 10. 0 for their last 10, and they come back with a big-time sweep. So, and Mickey, yes, there you go. Getting some of the kudos there. All right, so let's head over now Oh, we got Dave checking in. Next up for the Mets, they come to New York. They'll come to New York. Next up for the Mets. Next up for the Mets, they'll come to New York. What the hell does that mean? Jesus Christ. What are you guys doing, man? Are you guys like talking? Are you guys trying to use voice for this? Braves. Next up for the Mets, they'll come to New York Braves. So let's walk the dog on this one. Next up for the Mets, the Braves come to New York. Is that what Dave's trying to say? Is that what Dave's trying to piece together? Next up for the Mets, the Braves, and that is true. The Braves will be heading to New York tomorrow to start a series. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, 5.5 games back, right? But 7 games remaining head to head. It's good to be where we're at right now, obviously. But we got a lot of baseball left to play. There's so many more, and you're not going to hear me say it. I will not say, you know what's baseball. I will not say that. But there's a lot of peaks and valleys still left to go. And but right now, you got to win the games that are in front of you, and you got to keep winning series. 25 series the Phillies have won this season so far. They won 27 of all of last year. They've only swept a team 6 times. That's a little low, but they've also are on pace for smashing last year's series winning numbers. So that's what you got to do, man. You got to win these series, and the Phillies are definitely doing that. Braves. Yes, Dave, I pieced it together, man. I was able to get hooked on phonics and figure this out. Next up, the Mets and Braves come to New York. I got you. No, it's actually tomorrow night. I believe it's tomorrow night. They're out there. Yep, tomorrow night it starts in New York. Tomorrow's pitchers, if for those of you that care, out there in Citi Field, it'll be Spencer Strider versus Clay Holmes at 7:10 tomorrow night at Citi Field. Which, keep an eye. This is a twofer. Do you root for the National or the Braves or the Mets? Obviously, you root for the Braves. Brave season's pretty much done, but any shot Nola comes back in is fine. Definitely a shot he's coming back, mullet. But as far as being fine, we'll see. Was there ever really an injury disclosed about him? I mean, what was the injury specifically? I heard everything from a rib problem to a labrum issue. I didn't, I think I heard at one point maybe stiffness in the shoulder. No one ever pinpointed it. I know it's necessarily not, something that's put out there in the public, but he was a shaky product, and it wasn't like it happened over a span of a few games. He was shaky from the get this season when it started. And, the velocity dropped somewhere around 3 miles an hour on the fastball. And they pitched him for most of the season up until they shut him down. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be fine. He is coming back, but whether or not he's fine, we'll see. And then you got to factor in Zach Wheeler. Now, as I mentioned, Zach Wheeler had himself he had a start today. He pitched not Zach Wheeler-ish, but even not Zach Wheeler-ish is better than 85% of the pitchers in this league. But he labored through his 5 innings, 80 some odd pitches. There's reports circulating about him. Is it fatigue? Is it stiffness? Is it an injury? Those are things to keep an eye on, because I feel that the pitching on this team is a strength. It's a huge strength. But without Zach Wheeler, and I think we can get by without Aaron Nola in the postseason, 100%. I don't think we can get by without Zach Wheeler. And we need Zach Wheeler to be Zach Wheeler in the postseason. Going 7.5, 8 innings, around 100 pitches, 3 hits, no runs, striking out 12. We need that in October. And if we don't get that, I don't know where we'll be. It's going to be a little bit more hairy to navigate through October, especially with the offensive problems. But they're being awfully sketchy when it comes to the situations with Nola and Wheeler. I mentioned to Al last night, this thing with Wheeler has been going on since around the All-Star break. The Phillies purposely, when they had an opportunity to reset the rotation heading into the All-Star break, they purposely put Wheeler on the back end of that rotation to give him an extra week, allegedly to spend time with his new kid and his wife. But now I'm hearing it's arms issues. It's potential fatigue or potential injury. So I'm a little concerned about that. And we're not at that stage of the season yet where you can say, well, you know what? Sit down, Zach Wheeler. Take a few weeks off. We'll coast to the end. We're not there yet. So that concerns me. Absolutely concerns me. And that's why I mean that it's not over yet. It's far from over. And something to definitely keep your eye on. What in the hell is Dave talking? What are both of you talking about? Don't lash out at Dave there, Mickey. You're kind of doing the same thing. Ankle, I heard, but I think it was just mental. I don't know. 3 miles off his fastball, that ain't mental. It ain't mental. Ooh, I wish it was, but I don't think it's mental. Well, we'll see about Aaron Nola as he returns. So, but let's get to the Broad Street bottom line. All right, the Broad Street bottom line today on the program is brought to you by, well, it's brought to you by this segment, the Down on the Phillies Farm segment. This is the part of the show when we get to it. We're not there yet. We're on the Broad Street bottom line segment. But when we get to the Down on the Phillies Farm segment, we will step into the world of the Phillies minor leagues, take you level by level, and just kind of check in on what's happening down there. Things have been shaken up, obviously, since the trade deadline. Players have moved on. Players have moved up. And they're still playing baseball. So we'll get to that here in a little bit. Every Sunday on the Fighting's Final, you'll see that segment until the minor league systems complete their seasons, which are coming up quick, man. God damn, they're coming up quick. So make sure you're tuned in for the duration of this show on Sundays so we get to the Down the Phillies Farm part. But my Broad Street bottom line today was you saw it today. You basically saw what this team is going to have to do sustainably and consistently in order to win a World Series. I know we talked last night, and we're going to talk tonight about it, about why I'm not bought in on a World Series championship this year, why I don't believe that they're not going to win a World Series. And games like today completely go against that narrative. And that's what I want to see. And that's what we got to see. We cannot, under no circumstances, rely on 5 home runs a game in October in order to win a World Series. The Phillies have not shown a consistent ability to play this type of baseball over the last 3 years. And again, I don't care what homer is talking to you or what they're feeding you, they haven't. But today, and other games like that this season where they've demonstrated the ability, I don't want to talk about the 3-0 bunt, but whatever, baby steps when it comes to this, I'll take it. But they have demonstrated the ability to win these types of games. They got to stop demonstrating it, and they got to incorporate it into their daily offensive routine. And today, when it does work, you get the pitching effort, not the greatest from Zach Wheeler, but it's still better than a lot of other pitchers in this league. And you get the offensive scrappiness, the small ball, the station-to-station, situational hitting, and you eke out a win with the strength of the back end of your bullpen now. And that's a recipe to win baseball and to win championships since the dawn of time. Phillies got to incorporate it into their offense and into the way they do business on a daily basis. If they can, there's no way anyone's going to stop them, because when you do get the feasting from the upper part of the lineup with the power, it's lights out. But this is the type of baseball you need to see consistently in order for the Phillies to win a World Series. And unfortunately for today, it's friggin' August 9th. I don't need to see it technically in August. I need to see it later on, but it's a good step. Can they keep it up? Will they go down? Will they come up? Yeah, of course. But when the lights come on in October, this is what it's got to be. This is the offense you got to see. And today it worked well, and it got on the series sweep. So continue with the station-to-station fundamental baseball, and you should be fine. Ricky is watching. Ricky, how are you doing today? I appreciate you tuning in as always. Let's go round the bases on this Sunday afternoon. Yep, we're going to go around the bases around Major League Baseball on this Sunday evening, early or late afternoon. Games that are currently done. It was Twins 5-3 over the Royals in 11 innings. It was the Reds 14-8 all over the Pirates out there in Pittsburgh. It was 7-1 Astros over the Yankees. It was the Braves kind of slowing down the Marlins 7-1 today. The A's 3-2 winners over Baltimore. Out there in Detroit, it was the Tigers 9-5 over the Angels. 6-4 White Sox over the Guardians. And as we are joyously reporting, 7-6 Brewers came back not once but twice in this game by 3-run deficits and win the game 7-6, sweeping the Mets right on out of, it's not Fulton, no, it's never been, what they used to call, what was the old Brewer Stadium back in the County Stadium? There you go. Man, County Stadium. It's not County Stadium anymore. I don't even know what the hell they call their place. But it was the Brewers with the win. So games that are still happening, it is 6-0 Nationals over the Giants in the bottom of the sixth. It is 3-0 Padres over the Red Sox. They're headed to the top of the sixth. 12-3 Diamondbacks over the Rockies in the bottom of the fifth. It is 4-3 Mariners over the Rays in the top of the fifth. And it is 3-1 Dodgers over the Blue Jays in the bottom of the fifth. Tonight on ESPN, you got your Cubs and your Cardinals out in St. Louis wrapping up your Sunday slate. And for the Phillies, they will move off to Cincinnati tomorrow, start a 3-game set in the Natty against the Reds. Taijuan Walker on the bump tomorrow night against Andrew Abbott for a 6:10 start time out there in Cincinnati. So if you're, if you're wanting to tune in, make sure you understand the game starts at 6:10 as the Phillies will continue their the road trip and also get back to playing some National League teams. Good Lord. As our American League portion of our schedule is not over, but we're going to take a little break from it. They played, I think, 15 straight games against the American League, and they came out pretty well. 7-2 now for the month of August, which is the best month they've had since May, honestly, to start out. So, again, another positive sight as we move through this dog day of summer portion of the season. Phillies starting to turn the corner, still 40 games, a lot of baseball. I would 100% agree with you, Edward. It's a good sign to see how they're winning. And I think it was Ben Davis who said it during the broadcast at the end, and I concur. This was a feel-good team weekend, right? All the wins seem to incorporate all levels of team play for the Phillies. And but they're going to need more of this. This is not the end. This is only the beginning. And if they can continue to find a way to sustain this, we got something here. But is it too early to get excited? I don't know, but we'll see. They have a shot just as anyone to win it all. No, I disagree. 100% disagree. I don't agree with that statement blanketed. I don't, because there's teams out there better equipped to win World Series than the Phillies are. The defending world champions are batting close to 290 with runners in scoring position. Phillies are batting 240 something. All right. They have demonstrated the ability to play small ball when they need to. Now, when they get into the playoffs, by the result of that, they do have a shot to win it. But to sit here and say they have a shot just as anybody does, I disagree. Especially from a Phillies standpoint, a Phillies fan standpoint. We're very hyper focused on what's happening with this team. I can look at a box score and tell you without even watching any of the game, and I could probably replay the game in my mind just by the box score. Because we've seen the MO, we've seen the recipe game in and game out. We know how this team wins and how they lose. There's got to be a little mystery to this. And today, with using small ball, they incorporated a little mystery into their game. It wasn't the MO. It was something against the grain. So, do they got a shot? Absolutely. 100%, especially if they get into the playoffs. But to say it's across the board even with everybody, no. I disagree. There's some juggernauts out there. There's some teams out there that are a little bit more deeper than the Phillies, a little bit more proficient than the Phillies, a little bit more balanced than the Phillies, 100%. But you get in, you see what happens. I've been down most of the year. Me too. Me too. Brewers will choke. Dodgers have been inconsistent as well. How? Dodgers are batting like 290 with runners in scoring position. All right, Dodgers got some pitching issues. I'll grant you. Ohtani's now pitching again. So, again, we got 40 games to get to October, and they are the defending world champions. Can't discredit that. Can't. But we'll see. It's going to be fun, and that's what makes October baseball great, 100%. And it's even better, of course, when the Phillies are in it. All right, let's get to that vaunted final segment of today's program. Let's head on down to the Phillies farm as we will go through the minor league systems and just sort of get a snapshot of what's happening, what they did for the week. Who were your standouts? Who standout player, standout pitcher? Where they stand in the standings and how their seasons are going. We are no longer doing the rookie leagues. The FCL Phillies, the Florida Complex League Phillies, have completed their season about 2 weeks ago. So we are no longer reporting on them. So now we're going to start our journey in low A, not in the rookie league ball, but in low A with the Thrashers. This week's player of the week was Nolan Beltran, the shortstop, 3 games, 3 hits, no runs, no homers, and 2 RBIs. Not a very offensive, prolific week for the Thrashers. Your pitcher of the week, as I'm going to take this thing down so I can't see it. Your pitcher of the week was A.J. Wilson, 2 games, a win, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a 5.40 ERA. For Wilson over the week. The Thrashers were 6-0, man. Hell of a week for the Clearwater Thrashers as they're putting a push on to potentially get into the playoffs. 24-15 now in the second half of their season. Of course, they were 36-30. They did not win their first half championship divisionally, so they got to fight their way and hopefully win it in the second half to get a shot in the playoffs. But they're putting themselves in a position. I believe they're riding an 11-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. Or they're like 10-1 in their last 11. They've been on fire lately. So they're making a late season push to potentially get into the playoffs. Let's head up now to High A to Jersey Shore. Your player of the week was Diego Gonzalez, the shortstop, 5 games, 4 hits, 4 hits, 2 runs, a homer, and 5 RBIs. Pitcher of the week, Andrew Baker, the touchdown maker, 2 games, no wins, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a 0.00 ERA for the Blue Claws. They were 5-1 on the week, 22-14 now in the second half, as they are also pushing hard for a potential postseason berth down there in the South Atlantic League. They had another good week themselves. Coming on strong there are the Blue Claws at the end of the season. Let's move up to Double A, and things get a little bit more balanced out here. Your fielder of the week is Nick Dunn, the third baseman, 3 games, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs. And remember this guy? Remember how high we were on Griff McGarry? I didn't even know he was in goddamn Double A. When did he get to Double A? Man, he was on the verge of becoming the next. What was it? No one was it? Were they calling him the next Cole Hamels? He was up there with the Mick Abels and the Andrew Painters at one point, but he's fallen on some harder times lately. 1 game this week for Griff, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, though, and a 3.5 ERA. Maybe he's turning his season around. Maybe he's turning his career around. Maybe Griff McGarry, now with the absence of Mick Abel, fills that vacuum as well. Who knows? We'll see. But we were very high on him. And for some bonus points, folks, what hat is he wearing? And why is he wearing that hat with the Phillies uniform? Can anybody tell me those 2 questions? It's Phillies trivia here on the program. If you can, I'll give you a standing ovation. What hat is Griff McGarry wearing, and why is he wearing it? So the Reading Fighting Phillies were 4-2 for the week, 17-22 now for the second half of the season for the Fightins. And then we'll finish our trip, as we typically do at AAA, with the Iron Pigs. Gabriel Raconis Jr., 4 games, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 homers, 7 RBIs for the outfielder, the new Nick Castellanos. That's right, folks. You heard it here first. Nick Castellanos should be on his way out the door here soon. I'm not saying next year he'll replace him, but if he doesn't get traded at some point in some trade deadline over the next year or two, Raconis Jr. will definitely be, I think, the new right fielder of the future of the Philadelphia Phillies, if he can survive any Dave Dombrowski purges. But he's definitely been a very consistent fixture for the Iron Pigs over the last 2 seasons. Phillies gave him a look at in spring. I think he played pretty well back in spring training. He's blocked a little bit up here right now, but And that's why I was actually surprised he didn't get moved. I honestly was very surprised he didn't get moved at the deadline. I'm not going to lie to you. Your pitcher of the week was Ryan Kusick. 2 games, 1 win, 3.1 innings pitched, or a 3 1/3, 2 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts, and a walk, and and a 0.00 ERA. The Pigs were 3-3 for the week, 19-18 so far through the second half. Definitely a tale of two halves for the Iron Pigs in 2025. A amazing first half that they somehow did not win their division in the first half. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp beat them out by a half a game, and they have not been able to recapture that mojo in the second half. And part of that is because players have been moved on, called up, and what have you. And that's what happens at AAA. But 3-3 for the week as the Pigs are struggling. I don't know. I think they're way out of it though. I don't think they really have a shot at making the International League playoffs this year. But we'll see. Still some games left to play. And that finishes our trip through the Phillies minor league system on this week. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed putting that together. Michael Papernick says, do you think the Phillies should worry about the Mets, whether for the division or the playoffs? Listen, Mike, you know what? I'm going to come out on the side of the coin that what's the mantra, man? You got to, to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? And I'm not saying the Mets are the best. I don't care. I honestly don't care if it's the Mets, Padres, Dodgers, Reds, Marlins. I don't care who the hell they place in front of you. You got to beat who you got to beat. There's not a team in this league, National League wise, that I'm scared of. There's not. There isn't. So whoever, play whoever. I don't have a stigma against the Mets. The Phillies, listen, part of the problem with this team, the Phillies, over the last 3 years, the Phillies' worst or biggest opponent has been the Phillies. That's the problem with this team. They're constantly beating themselves. They can go toe-to-toe with any team in this league, 100%. So I don't really care if it's the Mets. I don't have this aversion to the Mets. They went out against the Mets in the playoffs last year, and I don't care if it was the Mets, whoever it would have been. The result would have been the same, the way the Phillies played in the playoffs last year. So it didn't matter if it was the Mets because it would have been anybody. The same results would have occurred. I don't have that. I don't outwardly project, and I don't worry about other teams. I worry about the Phillies, and I worry about them getting to where they need to be. And then once we get there, and then we'll look at who it is, and we'll go from there. But no, there's not one team in the National League that scares me to the point where I'm like, I want to avoid them. There's teams that concern me, and the Mets aren't one of them. Mets got some pitching issues, and I don't know if they're going to hold it together all season long. There's no guarantee the Mets will make the playoffs. I mean, there's no guarantee the Phillies are going to make the playoffs either. But I'm not worried about the Mets. I'm not. But I'm not worried about the Padres either. I'm not worried about the Braves. I'm not worried about the Brewers. I'm a little worried about the Dodgers. I'm a little bit. But other than that, no. It's our year. I don't know. We'll see. Mets are broken. We'll see. After the series they had with the Brewers, they're done. I disagree. You got 40-some-odd games left, and they're 5 games out. They're not done. Again, Jimmy Rollins, 2007, September, 5th? They were 7.5 games out, the Phillies, first place. And who won the NL East in 07? It was the Phillies. It ain't over until it's over. And don't get that attitude, because that's where we run into a trap. The Mets are missing the playoffs, potentially. Also, how do you feel about the bullpen besides Duran, as the Phillies bullpen is ranked 24th? How much of that 24th rank, Mike, is the no rolls thing? How much is that 24th ranked Rob Thompson trying to figure out an experiment? I said this earlier in the show. Duran coming here, one of the pleasant byproducts of that has been a de facto, finely rolled bullpen. Duran's the closer. And I knew it day one when he got here. Because last year when they brought Estevez here, Dombrowski said it in the press conference that we're going to ask him to do other things. That wasn't said at all about Duran when he got here. That wasn't mentioned. So I was like, oh no, do we have a closer? And is he only going to be used in the 9th inning? And so far, so good. And what that has done is de factoed the others into roles. And we saw it potentially today. We've seen it already. Kirkney in the 8th, Strom in the 7th, and then I guess Banks or whoever in the 6th. I'm not worried about the ranking anymore. I'm worried about winning games and shutting it down. It's never been to me about the bullpen issues. The Phillies, if you look back at this season, the one thing that doesn't jump out at you is oh my God, look at all the blown saves. It's not one thing that jumps out at you. There've been, and they've blown some saves and they've lost some games in that fashion, but that's not been the MO. The MO has been the way the offense has performed. So I was never really concerned about the bullpen in the first place. And you know that. I wasn't concerned about the pitching at all in the first place. I was concerned about the offense. I still am. But I think it's more stable. And now you take the Rob Thompson factor out of the bullpen by giving a lockdown closer, and then you set everybody else up in front of him. I think it almost takes Rob Thompson out of the equation, which is a good thing. So going forward, this is what we needed, and it's showing. The bullpen has been good since Duran got here. Yeah, but he's been here 2 weeks. They don't have the pitching. Ooh, the Mets, they don't. Stearns need to make a big splash for Alcantara or Seth Lugo. I don't know if Seth Lugo would have been the big splash, but definitely Alcantara. I'm surprised. Did he get moved? Did Alcantara get moved? They were shopping him. Anybody know? I don't remember hearing Alcantara getting moved. We got the best closer on the market. I don't know. Mason Miller's pretty damn good, too. How sweep it is. Absolutely, Mike Laro. No, he didn't get moved. So Alcantara stayed in Miami. Well, with that being said, let's head over to the big old standings generator here. Let's take a look at the updated standings through today, or as of today. Out in the American League, it's the Blue Jays still holding a 3-game lead over the Red Sox. The Yankees are fading fast, baby. Yankees are on their way down. They're 6 out. In the Central, Detroit's pretty much locking that thing up. Cleveland's gotten to 6. We'll see. But that seems to be a pretty much a and by the way, Detroit's one of those teams, too. That scared the hell out of me. Houston out in the West has got a 1-game lead now over Seattle, and now a 6-game lead over the Rangers, thanks to the Phillies handling their business against the Rangers over the weekend. Out in the National League East, of course, Phillies are now up to a 5.5-game lead over the Mets in the East. The Brewers 5 games up on the Cubs, which might turn to 6 by the end of today. And the Dodgers 3 games up on the Padres out west. In the wild card races around baseball in the American League, the Dodgers, Mariners, and Yankees all hold the wild card, with Cleveland just a half a game behind. The Rangers now 2.5 behind. The Royals 4 and the Rays 5. And the Twins, despite the fact that they've unloaded their entire team, are just 5.5 games out of the wild card. Weird-ass American League, folks. Weird-ass American League. In the National League, the Cubs, Padres, and Mets are currently your wild cards. The Reds are a game and a half back. The Giants are 3.5 back. The Cardinals are 4, and the Marlins sitting there in the outskirts, but yet still there at 6 back. And so are the Diamondbacks at 6.5. But the Diamondbacks sold, so we'll see what that is. But 6.5 is not that far out to get rid of like Merle Kelly and Zach Allen. I don't get it, man. This is still a race. But there you go. There's your updated standings here as of October. Or let's see, even I'm now starting to say October of August the 10th. Because they were playing good. Yeah, they are playing good. They are playing good. Oh, and they kept Cabrera. Okay. I wonder when the Bohm gets back, now that he's going to how he is going to look back in the lineup, and I am assuming Weston Wilson will be sent down. That's a good assumption. Bohm played today for the Iron Pates. I watched a little bit of the game. He made a nice defensive play in the game, barehanded. Yes, I would send Wilson down, but keep Kemp because he can play of the end. Yeah. Put Bohm in 4th or 5th, slide down Casty. I disagree. You slide down Bohm until he proves otherwise. But we'll see. Bohm should be back soon. Nola should be back. I mean, things should, start kind of getting put together here. That's going to wrap me up today, folks. But remember, tonight at 10 o'clock, I'll be back with the final word with Matty B. Your daily wrap to your Philadelphia sports day. Every Sunday to Thursday, we'll start our broadcast week tonight at 10. See how many shows we can get in this week. The fight final will come back at you tomorrow night as the Phillies will transition to the Queen City and against the Reds. Interesting series. Taijuan Walker against Abbott start. Tomorrow, Mike Lara will have you. Tuesday on is Steve, and I will have you Wednesday. So make sure you're tuned in. And then the other programming on the network, of course, post-game-wise, don't forget, Saturday at around 4 p.m., join Steve Fuentes as he hosts the Birds Flyby, our post-game show here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network, or the Eagles post-game show here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network, as we will get you Yeah, we'll recap the Cleveland Brown Eagle game and everything, and set you up for Week 3 against the Jets. Stunning stuff, man. What do you think is going on with Wheels' arm? I don't know. And we were talked about a little bit. It's an interesting situation. Is it fatigue? Is it an injury? And what do you do? Do you risk shutting him down for a week, 2 weeks? I mean, I don't think we're at that part of the season where you could do that. And but if you don't have the Zach Wheeler that we're accustomed to, the 7 to 8 inning, 195 pitch, 12 strikeout Zach Wheeler, 1-2 earned runs a game Zach Wheeler. I don't know about October, man. October's not going to look too good if you don't have that. So it's an interesting situation. It's a very interesting situation with Zach Wheeler. Painter is looking like a fraud. We'll see. We'll see. Good show. Thank you, Michael. Didn't Wheeler get fatigued like 2 years ago in his arm? I don't remember like this. And I don't remember all the mystery around that. Like, this is sort of mysterious. Is he hurt? Are they trying to work him through some things? I don't know, Michael. We'll see. But we'll talk more about it tonight at 10 o'clock. So make sure you're back for the final word. And thank you all again for tuning in to the Fighting's Final here, our post-game show on the network. We will be back tomorrow for the Reds and then everything else leading up into hopefully the march down Broad Street. And I will see you guys later tonight. Make sure you're checking around the network. Like, share, and subscribe on all platforms, especially YouTube. We hit 100 subscribers on YouTube over the weekend. I put a little thing up thanking people for their support. Let's not stop. Let's keep going. Let's get to 1,000 by the end of the day. That would be great. But please, like, share, and subscribe on all platforms. It would help us out greatly. It motivates me to see that number every morning rise up. Like, when I get up in the morning and see that number go up by 1 or 2, I get happy. I don't get happy when it goes down by 1 or 2, but I get happy when it goes up. So make sure you're keeping us going. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. I'll be back at 10 o'clock. So until I hear from this last person, I want to say goodbye to everybody and have a good rest of your day. I'll see you later tonight if you go for United. It's 10 o'clock for the final word. But right now, Harry the K, man, what you got?